So you want to be a Chorizo Bro, huh? Get closer to the mic, kid. When did Rocky 1 come out, kid?
1976!
Rocky 2!
1979!
Alright, kid. If you're gonna be a Chorizo Bro, you gotta be quick on your feet.
Hey everybody! Welcome back to the Chorizo Bros. We have a very special episode that we're bringing for you today. We have a brand new Chorizo Bro. My actual brother is here today to hang out with us. An actual Chorizo Bro.
Yeah, right, Chorizo Bro.
That's right.
So tell him your name. Tell us a little bit about you to get the audience ready for our new addition to the team.
Well, I'm Chris. I'm 21. I'm his younger brother. He's taken care of me since he was like 15, changing my diapers, crazy stuff like that.
Oh, we didn't have to tell him that, but all right.
He's going in detail.
I'm happy to be here. Happy to give this a shot. See
Yeah.
how it goes.
We're happy to have him as well.
Yes.
So basically, the concept behind what we're supposed to be doing today is we knew Jeremy didn't want to sit in on the Rocky sequels,
Yes.
right? And we just did our Rocky episode. It was awesome. People are really liking that one, and we love Rocky enough to want to keep going. So what we're going to do moving forward is probably watch another couple of the Rocky sequels, and Chris is going to join us for those episodes.
Yes.
If that's kind of the plan where we're at now, right? So we actually sat down and watched Rocky 1 the other day, and then the three of us watched Rocky 2 soon after that. So most of the video today is going to be on Rocky 2. But we definitely recommend that you go back and watch our first Rocky discussion with Jeremy.
Yep.
That way you're all caught up. I actually made him watch that episode also. So I recommend that you do that and then get caught up with the Rocky movies so you can check out what we think. So we're going to open this video up a little bit with asking Chris what he thought about Rocky 1. And then we're going to open up the discussion about the Rocky 2 movie.
10-4.
Cool?
Let's do it.
All right. So I had a couple of questions for Chris here to kind of get your opinion and your vibe on what we thought the Rocky 1 movie was. Now, how aware were you of the Rocky movies before you saw it?
I know the music, the scene where he's training.
The montage?
I knew pretty much that it was about this guy training to be a boxer. And it's all about him having heart, getting through it.
Yeah.
That's what it was all about.
So without knowing the actual story, you knew that the concept of the movies was you can do it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that hype
Very
music
much.
is really good.
Yeah.
So aside from the first movie, how familiar were you with the franchise as a whole? Did you know a few things? Did you know pretty much nothing about it? Just that Sylvester Stallone's in it?
Yeah, that was his face. It's all I can think about when I think about him. Maybe Rambo, but
More Rocky.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, it's
when
Rocky.
When I think Rocky, that's the first thing. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, and you weren't familiar with any of the plot lines that happened in any of the movies in the franchise?
I just remember like that montage.
The running the
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
that-
So were you surprised that Rocky doesn't win in movie 1?
I was, because I thought he would get that very last second win where he knocked him out. I thought he would get that win. And then he lost, and that was the end.
I think that made the movie like, oh man, like
Yeah.
to get another chance. And that's where Rocky 2 comes in, kind of hypes you up and stuff. Get ready.
Sure. I feel like if they had ended the movie at just Rocky, or not done a franchise, just in that one movie, I think it would have been fine. It's
Really?
yeah. I mean, yeah, we have them in there. We
That's
love them.
true. Well,
But like, if they had just done Rocky 1 and there was no 2, and it ends with him going the distance and it just ends there, that's a fine ending.
I guess you always wanted to see like the hero, the
We
fighter.
want to see him keep going.
Yeah, and when you know what I mean. I think that's what it is.
I think number 2 completes like that first arc though.
Let's concentrate on 1 first, and we'll jump to 2.
Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah. Let's. Okay. Do you want to jump to 2 already? If you want to skip ahead, we can do
Whatever
that.
you want to ask first, whatever you got for me.
I mean, I don't. Really
Okay, do you think from a younger person's standpoint in
Oh.
2024, do you think this movie holds up today?
I think it holds up very well. Aside from like
That
one
scene-
scene with Adrian, yeah.
Let's talk about that because we had the argument or the explanation that because it's of a different time, that it was more acceptable or that it wasn't as crazy that.
Oh,
You know,
I know
it's
what you're
that
talking about now.
scene,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
But I have again, we grew up watching these movies.
Correct,
You did not
yes.
grow up with this.
I
This is something you just seen. You're a
Yeah.
grown man when you first saw it, so that's a different perspective
And it-
entirely.
And like you were saying, like in our time, it was like not okay, but like we didn't see it like.
Yeah, and
oh
in
my
the 70s,
God,
they
yeah,
certainly
yeah,
didn't.
like
So, what was it like for somebody in your generation, the younger generation right now, watching that scene? Did it turn you off of Rocky as a hero? Did you just accept it for the time in the 70s that it was?
I actually think it still holds up, everything like that. I've seen so many of the hero journey movies. I know you guys were talking about
Yeah.
on the last one, and it's still I don't really care. It just hits me the same. It still feels good. And then of course there's a few quirks like that, but it just like because I wasn't there during that time period, and it makes me think of how things were back then, and just how much things have changed.
I mean, now me and adult, yeah, that made me feel like okay, that's a little like rapey-ish. You know what I mean? And like, but you as a young, like right away, you saw it, like did you feel very uncomfortable or like?
I mean, I was uncomfortable, but
Oh, he commented on it when it came on. He was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, what is he doing?" Yeah,
but I could also tell, like you were saying, that Adrian just wasn't. She was just shy. She
yeah.
like
really,
he
really
kind-
shy.
Yeah,
maybe she did want him to do that, right? Because he's a man.
yeah.
But
And back in
that's
the day,
just
man
my-
would
that's
take
what
the
I
That's kind of
be
the
the
expectation
yeah.
for men
Because she
back
did
then.
smile when he got. I saw her little smile when he finally went.
Yeah, that scene. If they were to, I hope they don't. But if they were to remake Rocky, they
Would've
won't.
been okay.
But if they would not put that scene in there,
Yeah.
or they would have it play out different.
I hope they never do. But
think-
I'm
No,
saying,
I don't
like,
think they
I
will.
think they
yeah.
will, and it will be everyone will hate it.
Eventually, maybe they will, but not. I don't think in our lifetime. I think they'll
Did,
be.
like the pride of like how he is. Did it hit you like?
Wait, so what?
Like his motivation, the way he is, and he took pride of his work.
I love his character. Yeah,
That's cool because like still to this time,
Mhm.
Rocky's still hitting young men. Like yeah, this is awesome, man. Like gets you pumped. That's what I love about Rocky, man. Like something that like I said the last time. Like if you're down, depressed, put on a Rocky and see if it doesn't change your attitude. Like
he starts as a bum,
yeah,
He starts as a bum.
yeah.
and he makes it to the top.
Yeah. Well, he makes it to where he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He could give a shit if he became the champion. He could give a shit if he made money. He just wanted to go the distance.
yeah. Think
He
about
said what he said. I think in the movie is no one's ever gone the distance with Creed. I just want to do that.
I like that a lot. That
And-
he made it 15 rounds with a champ.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it
that's
didn't matter
crazy.
that he lost. It mattered that he went. That's why I'm saying it's okay if they would have
Would
stopped
end
it at
it like
one.
that.
Yeah. I'm glad they kept making them because
I'm glad they made the second.
I also maybe messed up too because I told Chris I was like, as they go on, they do get dumber, and I think us having seen all of them, we can say that because if you try to compare the heart and the writing style of the first movie, and then you go to like Rocky 3 or Rocky 4, you go, yeah, these are kind of crazy.
Yeah, but I kind of see where they went because they gave him more of like an actual legit boxer,
Right?
like the skills he was learning as he went.
Yeah, maybe. But in
But
terms
you're right.
of-
To come to the hard part, yes, you're right. That's kind of taken away already
yeah,
after a while from the first one, the second one. That was
it stops being about that, and then it
Yeah,
starts
exactly.
being just.
him just being a professional.
What Jeremy said was apt actually, because he says, they start to become rinse and repeat a little bit. That
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
true. Yeah.
So just going forward, know that I think the first two are the best ones.
correct. I'm with you on that too.
I think unless we have any more questions about the first movie, we should.
I'm good. I'm ready.
Are we ready to go to the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, unless you have a few more things that you want to say about the first movie, maybe because I did make him do homework and watch our episode of the
Nice.
Rocky. So, do you have anything that you want to add? Anything about the hero's journey, maybe, or something about Paulie, or something about the mob stuff?
I really like the details, like with the picture that he didn't break.
Yeah,
I think those small details are awesome. I've done boxing, so seeing him unable to box and go against a champ, just and him not covering his face was so
that
hard.
that I think is not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be realistic. This is for drama.
Yeah.
They're not trying to make it look
Well,
realistic.
I know,
Because
no, no,
obviously,
but there are fighters.
you're not going to take a bunch of shots to the face.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of fighters who are not that skillful. Will know that they can take a hit, and that will be one of their first attacks. Like,
right.
take some couple of power hits, and then go at him.
Sure, but he doesn't take a couple of power hits.
I know that's what we
most
were.
of the
like,
movies
yeah.
are just taking
exactly.
shots
I'm
to
like,
the face.
Yeah.
I like it because it just goes more to the fact that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just fighting.
It
like
does
an
add
ape.
to that.
Yeah, like how Mickey
Just,
say,
he's
right?
just
Like,
he's the tank.
yeah.
He's a tank.
An Irish tank.
Italian tank.
Oh, Italian. Sorry.
All right, guys. I think we're ready to talk about Rocky 2.
Let's do it.
We're gonna do what we normally do for these. Is we'll jump to each Chorizo Bro, and we're gonna give our quick, spoiler-free, very quick. Do you like it? Do you think people should watch it? I think we should end on Chris.
Okay.
You should go first. I'll go next, and then we should end on Chris. If you're cool with that, unless you want to go first.
Works for me.
You want to take over the show. You want to go first.
If you know what? Let's go. Okay.
All right. Chris is gonna go first.
All the training was good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Give us a quick. Should people watch it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? A quick 5-star rating.
If you liked Rocky 1, this is like the second half of Rocky 1. It completes the arc. I feel like it's incomplete without Rocky 2. Even though Rocky 1 ends well, I think Rocky 2 makes it even better. I would say I recommend it. I got to give them both 5 stars, honestly. I really liked them.
Nice.
I really liked them.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Which one of us should go next then?
I'll do it. I mean, well,
Yeah, go next.
I love Rocky, and I'm always gonna recommend the first one, the second one, even the third one. But I love, like he was saying, it makes it fills in that spot of him. Does he get a rematch or what happens? And is he gonna train? But it just hits the heart. I love it. I mean, I love the first one and the second one. Like I said, I recommend to anyone, any movies. Hey, Rocky, want to be motivated? Rocky, let's watch Rocky. I'll give it 4 stars.
Oh, so it's a. What did you give Rocky 1?
I gave it 5 stars.
5 stars. Yeah, that's pretty much
well,
where
I
I'm
don't want
at.
to ruin that. We'll talk about it right now. You'll see why.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay, but it's not as good as the first one.
Yeah, the first one was to me that was the most motivated one. The second one, I'll talk about it more.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, I have some interesting things to say.
Now,
about
watching it again, now talking about it, and that kind of changed me. I was like, oh, okay, but I understand why they did that. It sees a different view of.
Okay, cool. I'll give my quick. I'm pretty much on the same page as you. I think Rocky 1 is 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And then Rocky 2 is almost as good, but it doesn't quite hit the mark all the way. There's a few reasons for that, but basically, I'm okay. I would have been okay if they'd never made another Rocky movie after the first one, but we have them.
Yeah.
And I like watching them.
Yeah.
So there's nothing. I'm not saying I wish they didn't make them. They're not terrible in that way. But the fact that it continues the story, it's pretty good. I like it. And it does complete the arc, and it does continue in a way that makes sense. And that's kind of what I liked about this sequel, is where it goes, all the beats that happen, they're all things that you could see happening.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that about the writing. I don't think it's as deep as the first one, but it's it's almost as good. It's almost as good. Okay, cool. So does anybody want to jump in with a topic that we should talk about right away? Or do we want to just kind of free flow it?
The thing that hits me first is just the relationship between Paulie, Adrian, Rocky. It gets better. I like that. I felt like in the first one, how Paulie has that scene where he goes crazy and drunk. Well, I felt like he had a better relationship with Rocky, and that I liked that a lot.
To me, it feels like it's still the same. I feel like he comes on and off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, you got to think you're applying the entire series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're only supposed to be thinking about, because I know what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But that's considering the entire. Oh, we have
remember, there's a part where
we have the German Shepherd in here, so you might hear some whining. Some things might get knocked over, whatever. We'll edit around it. But just so you guys know, the dog's in here, and she's going to make a little bit of noise. And y'all can obviously see Sir Charles having a nap on our table. We thought he would have a fun time chilling in here with us.
But,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to let them know.
It's fine. But like I was saying, like there was that one scene where like he was very rude to her when he heard her like saying like, "Hey, look, you did this to him. You're the one who got it to his."
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did forget that.
And then like,
in the pet store.
yeah, like bro, take it easy, man. Like she's pregnant also too. Like you're stressing her out.
Yeah, I kind of. I think still that did happen. I still see it got better in general.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not as bad as threatening them with a bat.
Yeah, that's true. You try to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, this is definitely a toned down version of that.
And then of course like the coma. So now he's really thinking about what he's been doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he must have felt really guilty.
I think he does. That's why he's not around her a lot. And then Rocky's always there.
My big takeaway of Rocky 2 was the continuation of the story. The fact that Rocky immediately didn't know how to handle money was very realistic.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed. Like when you brought that up the last time we were talking, and I was like, oh yeah, that is true. Like he goes crazy.
They show him stopping at every store on the way, buys an expensive car, a watch.
Doesn't even know how to drive.
Yeah, that's a funny detail. Yeah, but the fact that that is a very realistic take on finance with people that get big money. Like you hear about people winning the lottery and stuff, and then they end up broke, and you're like, how? And it's because they don't know how money works, and they get ahead, and they just get used to having it, and they do stupid things with it. And
I like how you're right. They point that out.
I thought that was very realistic. Yeah. I thought that was a good indication of somebody getting randomly successful or getting randomly a lot of money, and then but not knowing what to do with it. How to hiring a financial person or whatever, does these commercials and Jesus Christ,
commercials are funny.
Funny, dude.
That made me sad.
That made me real sad. I don't know how you thought it was funny.
Well, I think it's because the way the guy was being an asshole, and also, I mean, I know people that struggle with that, so I mean, it sucks. Like,
that's why it's sad. That's why it's not funny.
But I mean, I guess because I've lived through it, and I'm like, okay,
sure.
it's fine. You know what I mean? And Rocky took it like a chat.
I liked how Rocky takes things.
Yeah, me too. I love that about Rocky too. That he takes it like a champ. He doesn't go crazy or like. Yeah, I made a list on the way over here when they were talking about a fight. All the stuff he's gonna buy if he makes the money for the fight. And I'm like, come on.
That interview.
I love it too.
It's one of my favorite ones with Apollo.
With Apollo when he's interviewing, he's like, I'm taking it seriously. This guy, and he's like taking it chill, like nah. Like, why
he seems pretty mad.
Yeah,
whatever he says. I don't know. He seems pretty upset.
But also, it's very romantic to me too. Like it shows you the love.
That was not unexpected though. They kind of set that up in the first part. That again, it ends. I think the last line in Rocky 1 is "I love you." I think it's.
Oh, that's true.
I think it's pretty much like, hey, this is kind of a love story also.
I'm glad that they did nothing bad happen to the relationship in this movie.
Well, she was kind of pissed off that he was boxing again.
But right.
She did get pissed off.
But then they finally made the net. When she woke back up and they just win that fight.
Yeah. Well, we noticed that he wasn't training as hard because he had her behind her mind the whole time.
Yeah.
He was distracted by her not approving. Her not backing him up.
So.
Why do you think she has that change? Why do you think that her was that all it was? Was her just being like realizing that he didn't leave her side ever?
Yeah, and then hey, I should let him be who he wants to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but where did the change happen?
Because she was asleep, right?
Maybe she was in a coma.
Exactly. But maybe plot, honestly. And they were just like, I don't know.
Maybe what?
I can't pinpoint a moment. Just plot. Like for the plot.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of like what it could have been. It could have just been
maybe
she realized that he never left her side, so she I'll back him up on whatever he wants to do.
That's what I was thinking too. Like she noticed, like, man, you've been here the whole time and never left my side. Like at least I could give you
embarrass yourself reading these books. And that poem, dude, that he wrote.
Oh yeah,
so bad.
That's a Rocky poem.
And then you tried to slip, and then you gave me the slip. Or I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I really
Dude?
like that because he didn't know how to freaking read, and he did that for her.
Yeah,
That's it. He did it just for her.
that's another reason why probably she's like, man, like he did this for me. Like, at least I can do let him.
Yeah, because you got to think she probably didn't like the fact that he was doing it,
Yeah,
but she
I don't
was
think-
like,
Remember when he gets punched in the face and she's like,
Yeah.
man, like, what did I do?
"Yeah,
Well, you know what? Maybe when she, started feeling the pain, she started going into that coma. She really thought about, like, maybe I should just let Rocky do this, right? If I'm not around, just let the man do what he wants.
Yeah, because imagine if she
yeah,
didn't
but
survive that coma.
she was there."
I don't think he would be the same. I don't think he would ever fight.
Yeah, and I think you're probably right. It is just plotting because it kind of doesn't make sense that she changes her mind.
I don't think she would change her mind if she didn't go into a coma, though.
Or maybe they should have talked about it more. I think what's crazy is the scene really works where she gets out of the coma and then she's like, "There's one thing I want you to do: win."
Yeah.
And then the montage starts.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect scene. That's like my favorite scene in the movie. I love that.
Same,
That's probably
I
my
like that.
favorite training scene in all of the
I like how he
Rockies.
says it, win, Rocky, win.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it makes sense in terms of making that scene work. She has to say win, and then the music pops in. But in terms of the story, her changing her mind and them not really talking about it first, that part doesn't make sense.
I think, what if she just was awake and during, like, she could hear what was going on during the coma? People talk about that in comas, like they're conscious. So what if she heard that he was doing these things for her? You know?
Still, though, why the thinking on it would be, we're about to have a baby, and I can't do this. You can go blind.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of like, that's why she didn't want him to do it at first.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, he did try to change for her.
Because if he had if they had a quick conversation. Now, overall, this is a small plot point we're kind of discussing.
Correct.
here.
Yeah.
But like, had they had the conversation and him been like, "Hey, so if I go through with this, we're gonna make this much money, and it's gonna be set aside for the baby," or like says something like that. Like, I had to sell the car. Like, I kind of need to do this, and like says something like that. Then I can see her being like, "Okay, but if you're gonna do it, win." You know, something, just to make it be like, okay, because she just went 180s. It's just, I don't know. I thought that was the least
That's why I said plot.
realistic thing in there, aside from the taking all the punches to the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Can
that
we
part's
talk
bad.
about that?
The fight choreography in these movies is pretty bad. But that's all of them, dude. That's not unique to Rocky
It makes
2.
sense what they're trying to do. He's got to get beat up. He has to get beat up. He has to.
He has to get beat up.
And also, remember, he's not really a skillful boxer either. The reason why he can stand up there is because he has heart.
Yeah.
And remember,
He doesn't know how to put his hands up.
Exactly. But the man has some heart. He can take some hits. My favorite part is when he walks into the room of Apollo and tells him, "Did you give me your all?" And he says,
"Oh, that was good."
And I was all like, "Dude, that is bad." He tells him yes. He's all, "Yes."
Oh, can we? Let's talk about Apollo, dude.
Oh, okay.
This is almost like, this is my favorite Apollo in all the series. Mm-hmm. I like him the best in Rocky 2. I like his attitude. I like his anger.
Yeah.
I like his desire to get revenge and to be like, the guy tells him, if we do this and you go out, you try to goat him out and talk shit to him and make the Italian chicken, you're going to be the bad guy. Yeah. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Bring him out.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, yeah, that's Apollo, dude. Because he's like, he got embarrassed.
Yeah, that's what he was embarrassed.
He thought it was going to be a fun, dressed up as George Washington.
Think about how you said, the first time he came out, he was just jokingly, look, I'm George Washington, coming in a boat and everything. The second time, you could tell he was ready to fight.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, this man's
He was a beast.
Yeah. But Rocky has more heart. That's what it was.
Man, it was. Right at the end, man, you could almost start.
He barely made it.
He barely made it, dude.
But if Rocky had the skills, I think Rocky would have whooped him.
I think that's
because he has the heart. That's why.
Yeah, no, I mean Rocky. We want Rocky to win every time.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, he does look like a meatball.
He does. You fight like a goddamn ape.
Yeah.
But no, I love Apollo.
I think he's like you said the last time. He's not the bad guy. He's not a bad.
He's not a
person.
bad guy.
And
yeah.
this one,
He's human. He just wants to keep that. He wants to be on top.
Mhm.
He wants to be a winner. He wants to be the winner.
and he was embarrassed from someone that he picked himself.
that he didn't even know.
Yeah,
Some
like-
random.
Yeah, he did. He like dug himself that grave.
Exactly, like he
Yeah,
picked himself.
he
thinking
picked
like,
the guy that was
oh,
gonna
I
whoop
got
his
this
ass.
chump. I got this dude. And
Yeah.
little did you know.
My favorite Apollo scene was when he's talking to his wife and he's on like the balcony thing
Oh,
or in the upstairs,
Yeah.
and he's got all the hate mail that he's been getting.
Yes.
I was like, dude, I'm like,
You're like, it's Twitter.
yeah, we were talking about that. We're like, dude, that's Twitter. That's
Yeah.
like people today talking shit where there's no repercussions. You can just, it's online. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get hit by Apollo online. They send him fan mail and, oh, you're a fucking joker. Everybody know that was staged or talking all this shit. And he's like, dude, I was like fighting.
Yep.
I got my ass almost beat. Excuse me, sir. I think he just got, he's on camera. Yeah. So I really enjoyed Apollo in this. And I thought they made him a little bit more likable, believe it or not, because all that's happening outside of the fight, like the fact that it's like the promotion of making him look like a bad guy, he just seems like a normal guy. He seems like someone that got embarrassed and wants to make up for it.
Exactly. I think this is more the
And it's not evil. Yeah, he talks shit, but I mean that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more the embarrassment. Like
any
you said.
real fight.
You see
face
them
to
do
face.
that. Yeah.
That-
I
they do a
fucking
whole
love
show.
Apollo, dude.
And it's crazy. And also, like how you saying in the interview, when they're having that interview, how like he was more like motivated and I'm ready to whoop him in this, and Rocky was more like, it's just another day in the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Right. I did want to mention also in the fact that these movies, there's a little bit of time in between the two. So when did Rocky 1 come out?
1976.
1976. And when did Rocky 2 come out?
1979.
So a 3-year difference. But at the very end of Rocky 1 is where Rocky 2 starts. So there's a whole 3-year difference in between when these were actually filmed. But the story takes place immediately after Rocky 1. Now, you can really tell the time jump. And I think, because remember, back then they didn't have streaming. They didn't have VHS tapes.
Yeah.
You couldn't watch these back to back to back.
Yeah.
So you would think, oh, I saw it in theaters, the first one, and then I want to see the second one when it comes out. And oh, dude, let's go see Rocky 2. Your memory about the movie is a little different than how the movie actually goes, because there's a big difference between how Paulie behaves in Rocky 2 versus Rocky 1. You're supposed to tell me the guy that got pissed off, threw the turkey in the hallway or in the alley and was drunk and was begging Rocky just to get a shot, and then all of a sudden he's some wise guy. He's like fucking Joe Pesci in Goodfellas.
Yeah,
like he's
money,
acting like he's
money.
been acting it like he's been doing it forever. I'm like, buddy, you've never done this before. How are you all of a sudden some hot shot, walking around eating snow cones and hanging out at the docks? And I'm like, they changed his character so much that it seems like a different person. And that's because there's a 3-year time gap in between filming the first one and filming the second one. Because if you really think about it, you go, Paulie 1 and Rocky 1 is not the same as Paulie and Rocky 2.
More open,
It's not. His character is very different.
That's true. But go ahead. Sorry.
I was just thinking about how he got that money, like quick.
Well,
Same
remember,
kind of thing.
he also did sell apparel off of
Paulie didn't. That's not that much money. It was like $3,000.
Rocky's name.
Oh yeah, he got a lot. I thought he got way more than that. Never mind.
What was
He
it?
only made 3,000. Like he was wearing all these suits.
Yeah. Well, okay.
He bought
We're
that
obviously thinking about how much
back in the
further
day,
your money
yeah.
went in the '70s. But he also says, "Oh, my date's like $250," and you
Yeah,
go, so he
that's
was just
true.
burning through that money,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's doing so well at. Okay, so he has Rocky's old job is kind of the concept, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if he had Rocky's old job, Rocky was barely making it. Remember, he was barely making it.
That's true.
So Paulie comes in, and all of a sudden he's making enough money to where he can buy Rocky's car from him.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
You know what? There's a discrepancy there. It's just something I noticed. Whatever. It's something you can mull over. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change Rocky's journey at all.
No, I
It
know,
was
I
just
didn't
it stuck out like a fucking sore thumb to me when I watched it. I was like, what? Paulie doesn't even seem like the same guy.
He's got a
I
little bit
didn't
more
even
money.
You're like, was he just such
Same
a...
here. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking that he made money off his apparel,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
the mobster.
Yeah, but that was one time. That was one check he got.
Yeah, but I mean, I bet he gets a little more often after that. Like Rocky's still famous in Philly.
Sure, but that was I don't know. You're gonna say that he sold he put the meat packing label on the back of his robe for one thing, and then he kept making so much money off of that. That doesn't make any sense.
That's true. I mean,
Anyway, whatever. It doesn't.
Yeah.
If you want to,
the other thing that you point out, remember about the guy who sings? I didn't know that was Rocky's brother.
oh yeah, Rocky's brothers in this.
Yes, I did not. know that.
We got my brothers in this.
Hey, there you
Sylvester
go.
Stallone's brother was in
You gotta
Rocky
sing a
2.
song
Well,
now.
I think his brother was in Rocky 1 also.
Yes,
I think it's the
yeah,
same.
they're
I think it's the
similar
same guy
roles.
that Hank the wino or whatever.
He goes, give me that little sip, and he takes a sip of the wine or whatever.
Oh shit! I should have
Yeah.
brought wine in here.
And they were drinking.
And I think seeing him with money, like Rocky, you see his new outfit. He's going, passing by the bums, going through the city. I thought seeing him in that new jacket, how he was different, just a little bit.
He got a little swagger.
Yeah, he's got a little more swagger
A
and
little bit more, yeah. But it's like he was saying, like, he didn't know how to save money or, like, mine.
He didn't
money.
understand the concept of money.
So he was thinking, I have it, I can afford to buy it. Then he bought everyone a watch.
Yeah, I
like
kind of
that.
wished Adrian pushed back a little bit more too.
Well, she was
Well,
trying.
of course she wouldn't.
Remember, she was like, I already have a sweater. Like, this is good.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
she
know why.
didn't say, "Babe, we don't have enough money to keep doing this."
That's true. I mean, yeah, you're right. She didn't
Remember,
push hard enough.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because in the first movie she goes, oh, my mom said develop your brain because you don't have much of a body, or said something like that. I'm like, okay, so she's supposed to be smart. Yeah, but she's not acting like it. Sorry, I mean, I don't know who that might offend, but I'm like, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? We just made this fucking money,
And then also,
and you're retiring. Like, what's
No,
going on?
Well, I don't know if she's ever had money. She may not know how to deal with that either.
I don't know. I feel like you would
Well,
be smart enough to know not
Well,
to
she
do that.
was trying to tell him not to buy the stuff. Like, remember the house too, the car. You don't even know how. Do you know how to drive? And then like, yeah.
Yeah, she did push back.
It's simple. He's if you let me, I'll drive you nuts.
Yeah, Rocky's swagger in this comes on a little bit strong.
Yeah, it does. Hey,
Um,
but you see that jacket was killer, right? Who was it?
I thought the jacket was cool.
Like, yeah, you could just.
You gotta think,
difference.
this is 1979. I mean,
That's still a cool jacket.
I wouldn't wear it now,
I would.
but I can
I
appreciate.
I'd have it in my closet. I
would.
might wear one.
Fucking a gaudy, like Ed Hardy looking.
Maybe
Tiger.
without the tiger.
Okay, can we bring something up? Something that really, and now, I mean, we're just talking about the movie now at this point, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're set up. We had to say as far as reviews and stuff. Something that really irked me, and we laughed about it because the three of us watched Rocky 2 a few days ago to get him ready for this, and we laughed about it when it happened. The Gazzo's driver in the first one says, "Take Adrian to the zoo. Retards like the zoo." And then in this one, he takes her to the fucking zoo.
I think it was more for him though. Like he was like, "Let's go to the zoo. It's gonna be a good time."
Oh, because it's cold and doesn't smell bad.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like.
No, dude. I was like, don't do that. Like, was that something? Was that something they were like thinking? Okay, will anybody get the joke?
Yeah, I think that.
Do you think that's what it was?
Like,
That
he's going to the zoo.
he's going to the zoo.
I never caught that when you brought. I was like, oh yeah, that is. Like,
You guys take her to the zoo, and then you go, in this.
Rocky's not the bright one, So.
Right. Well, I now that I think about it, it does seem like a joke they tried. They're like, see if anybody gets
To
it.
put a joke, yeah. I see what
But watch, because we basically watched them back to back. It was Rocky 1, and then pretty soon after we watched Rocky 2, it's like it feels like it wasn't that long ago.
I just want to say, I feel like if I had to wait to watch Rocky 2, I would have been like just. You have to watch them back to back. Is what I'm trying to say. I feel like you got to.
You can't
Yeah.
wait. Imagine waiting
I
that
don't want
long.
to wait.
3
I wouldn't
years.
want to wait. I wouldn't want to freaking wait.
Well, they would not have known there was going to be a second one. They didn't end Rocky 1 thinking, how do we make a sequel? Because you got to think when they would make movies like this, before Marvel and the extended universe bullshit, or turning Harry Potter into movies or whatever it is, they would make a movie and then if it's sold enough, they go, hey, well, let's see if we can make a sequel out of it. Anybody want to do that? And then they do that. That's what happened here. They didn't end it going, how do we continue the story? Somebody was like, would you be interested in doing a second part of Rocky? And they were like, fuck yeah.
That is so badass how they started. Like right at the beginning, when they were done fighting and they're taking.
Oh, how it ends. It
Yeah,
ends
like
or starts right at the
Start,
end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one movie. It's one big movie.
Yeah, I know. It's like a one giant movie. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. It feels weird. It does feel
like
weird
a
watching it back to
Scarface
back though.
movie. Like Scarface is a two movie thing. Like it'll be like that. Like Rocky, you gotta watch Rocky 2 right away to finish the whole entire movie.
I don't know what you mean by Scarface.
Well, Scarface has like it has like a scene back in the day when it was on VH. It had two. I think when he becomes a drug lord, then you have to turn on to the next tape and you put the next tape.
Oh, you're saying like physically 2 movies?
Yeah, physically like that's how long it was.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you were saying there
like,
was a
if they would've-
Scarface 2. I
no,
was
no,
like,
no.
I never heard of
If
that.
they would have put Rocky like that, like just Rocky, we just named it Rocky and be the first part and the second one, but in 2 videos. Like,
Yeah.
But it's perfect how they left it like this. I mean, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, kind of like Scarface. They had one video the first time when I think when he becomes drug lord, and then the second.
Godfather was like that too. We had Dad had a VHS of The Godfather, and it was 2 tapes.
Is it because
I don't remember where it stops. I don't know what scene the first tape stops, and then you start the second
It's
one.
just because the tape can take so much.
Yeah, it can only carry
and then,
so much.
and then move it to the next one.
I want to talk about the montage.
Sweet. What do you got?
You know, I didn't like the montage this time so much. I mean, it was
That's
good.
crazy.
What?
I'm not.
Go on.
Let me explain
Okay,
this
go for
one.
it. Go for it.
This is my favorite one.
I love the running with the whole everybody.
the kids.
Okay, I love the chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the same thing as the first one, though.
Let me interject on that. It's always going to be kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
You don't like that it felt the same again? Would you have preferred
Oh,
it?
you know, a different song maybe.
He has no idea. He has no idea.
okay. Let them know.
No, we'll see. You'll see. Did you have any interest? Okay, any other points you want to make about the montage?
No, just that it didn't hit the same for me
Because you felt like you'd just seen it.
yeah, just
Yeah.
seen it.
Like,
Yeah,
like,
that's
Because
fair.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's gonna come again in 3 and 4 and 5.
It is. They do it in every single. Yeah, they do it in every
So
single one.
it's-
Yeah,
It's
it's part. Yeah, it's part of the.
See him freaking swinging from monkey bars or something, climbing. I don't know, something different.
Climbing trees.
Something different. Freaking maybe fighting. Do more
But
fighting in
I
the
like
montage.
I like
fighting somebody.
the using of the.
Well, they did the medicine ball.
I was about to say them, and also hit him in the stomach. And
He made him chase a chicken.
chase a chick. I mean, there was
Yeah,
some
okay,
different
there were
stuff.
definitely those.
He did hurdles. He jumped over the benches.
And then also making him use just his right hand, like power.
Seeing
Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Oh yeah, with the string.
Yes.
Seeing-
Again, like you said, the string. Like you're
I-
right.
yeah.
That was right. About
Yeah.
that.
The string, I think, is exactly right. It's his tool because
Yeah.
that's the actual thing that boxers use. Right?
Oh really? Okay.
Like-
I didn't know that.
They will tie your legs so that you have the correct distance. They'll tie you, like what they did so that you're only using this hand, or what I remember one of my sensei saying is like they'll tie your hands to your head, but that was more of a joke so that you don't drop them.
Yeah, I've seen videos where they'll be showing like it's their kind of jokes where they'll have like somebody doing this thing and then they punch and then their hand's a little bit low and then the guy will come by and knock up his elbow
Okay.
and then they do it over and over and then finally they're like, should I hit him? And then they hit him.
Yeah.
I've seen that's like a
Yeah.
joke thing that I've seen.
You know? Yeah.
So the trick of learning how to fight like a right-handed fighter,
Yeah.
using it the entire fight, I thought was kind of stupid.
Using the entire fight?
Well, Mickey did tell him to switch it.
I know, and he didn't listen.
And he didn't listen, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I think he should have, because I don't know what he was trying to prove.
Oh, I know what he was trying to do.
What was he trying to
But
do?
he didn't want to use any tricks. He wanted to do it his own way. He just wanted to do
Yeah,
it
but it's not a
man to man.
trick. He's a left-handed fighter.
Yeah,
He didn't want to switch it up again. He wanted to win doing what he's already doing. Like,
Yeah,
let's
but-
say you
But
want
he won because he switched.
He would have had a better shot.
But that's just what I'm saying. Rocky was thinking,
Oh, okay.
right?
okay,
Because
okay.
like, let's say you're playing a video game, you don't want to turn the cheats on. You don't want to go on easy mode. You just want to do it.
Oh, you felt like
you
he
keep
was
trying at that same way.
I see. Okay.
But I don't know, because I feel like if you're training to teach yourself how to do it, how to fight like a right-handed fighter, then going back to left-handed is the natural thing. It's not like Apollo was expecting him to be left-handed, so it wasn't.
No, yeah.
It wasn't a cheat.
But then again, most fights are all right-handed, so he'd be like standard. That would be standard.
Sure.
That'd be a standard fight.
Maybe Rocky wanted to beat him in the standard fight.
Right. That's what.
Maybe he was
That's what
like-
I think he was thinking.
Yeah.
No, I think when you're in a position,
I think he was just being hard headed.
I think he was just being hard-headed. Yeah, I think when you're in a
Well,
position,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say too.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think it was dumb. Because you think because Rocky's
being dumb.
Yeah, Rocky's a rock.
You know what was that part of it? The name.
Probably,
He's
yeah.
a rock. He's
just a simple guy.
Stone.
I think part of the appeal of the character of Rocky is that he's simple.
Yeah.
If he started to wax poetically, in not the poem he writes, but like if you were to hear him talk about literature or something, if you found out when he was reading that book, it was like Louis L'Amour. It's a guy that wrote a bunch of Western novels, like paperback Pulp Fiction Western novels,
like those romantic ones, but just Western style.
Yeah, they were like just little Westerns.
Yeah.
But if I like saw and he was reading like, I don't know, Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities, I'd be like, what the Rocky can't read that. So yeah, like part of the appeal of him is that he's simple. He's a simple guy. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think also the hard part. I think the hard
that
part,
he's friendly.
Yeah, very.
Like I would want to be Rocky's friend for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Like, and he takes care, but he can also be tough. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, big part. Like the one thing, I think my favorite thing about what you guys talked about on the first one, just how patient he is, and how Jeremy said he was endearing. That's like the perfect word for him, endearing. He's not smart, but he's like the nicest thing on the planet.
yes.
Yeah, Rocky's the best, man. You can see why Adrian loves him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I think that also might have to do with it being American, right?
Ooh, let's go into that. Yeah.
I don't know if I feel like from outside perspective they don't think we're the smartest, but like you see the patriotism, like 9/11, things like that, where we come together and we're a unit, and that especially in like a time like now, that's good to see.
Yeah, it is nice to see the American spirit.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's nice to see the American spirit. We get a bad rap worldwide, but that's it's news. We have our prejudices against other countries and our things that we think about them that just isn't true, or it's just like our idea of it. But they're people also, and they have their fucking bullshit to deal with, just like we do. So
You're right about that. That's pretty cool.
But these movies, man, they are so goddamn American.
I like to wonder, like, what would it be in a different country? Like being in the like India.
So if they did Rocky India?
Well, obviously it wouldn't like be the same culture.
No, right,
Seeing it
no.
come
I
up.
know what you're saying.
The
Yeah,
hero's
just
journey
but
from
to see
India.
their version.
Yeah.
And I like how they did it on Philly too, like because Philly's a very proud city and they love like their sports.
Yeah.
Is that the statue?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's there still, and like, but yeah, I love. That's why I like that they made it in Philly.
Well, I
because-
don't think it's there still. I think it was removed and then they put it back.
Oh really?
I don't know for sure. Well,
I
we
didn't
can.
know
I'll
that.
look into it and.
But just go.
We can find out for sure. But
going back to the first one, like I was saying, like remember how you were looking at the bar and he takes that first.
yeah,
And like, oh my god, everybody goes crazy at the bar. It's rock, got him.
that was
Like-
man. That
like-
feels so good to see.
Like, but I mean, it's just like how Philly is. Like Philly loves their sport a lot. Like they're really dedicated fans.
Yeah,
That's what I love about it too. Like also how like all the fans is just because he's a local, he's from there. Like get him, Rock, get him.
Yeah.
And, like I don't know. I think that's what I love about Rocky too.
Well, and then and that's why I like the montage training scene when all the kids,
Go behind him.
because you feel like because
I
it
love
is
that. I do love that.
it is like kid friendly. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't feel like you were showing some kids something too mature if you're like, hey, let's sit down and watch the Rocky
I
movies.
think it would be.
Kids would
Well,
love
be
this
good when
movie.
you
Dude.
show
I
them.
loved it as a kid.
And when we were watching the fight, like we were watching Rocky 2, and I saw like he was getting into it, and I was like, man, Rocky still got it.
It still hits.
I wish I watched it when I was younger.
Oh,
I feel like
I wish I was able to show you. I wish you, when you were a kid, we sat down and watched it.
I would want to tell a kid like this is how you don't give up.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta not
Yeah.
give up.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I think I was telling you guys, I saw like a little short video thing, and there was a little kid,
Hmm.
and there was a part where when Rocky started training, the little
Can
kid
we look
was,
it up after we?
Yeah,
finish?
like it's like he would do the same training, and everything. I'm like, dude, I love that. Like that's
that the dad grew up watching Rocky.
exactly, and then
Yeah.
the kid's kind of like, getting used, already knows the routine. And
Does he kind of look like Rocky?
No, he's a little small.
No, I mean he's like black hair. Does he look Italian?
No, he's just a little
Just some kid, little white kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Watching TV, watching Walker.
The ending, the
okay.
final part of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
The slow motion.
Yeah, that was cheesy.
I think that the whole fight. I think the fights run a little long, but I think they do it on purpose. It gives you suspense
Because that's what you're waiting to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, please, just show me what happens. And the way they pull it off at the number, like the last number with 10, and he barely gets up at the end.
Yeah.
It's nice. I think that is just something I'd seen too much of. Like, oh yeah, it's the last second, he's gonna get it.
Yeah, that's a movie cliche where it's like run the timer out,
and then the last minute, the hero.
They barely made it, but they made it.
Yeah, very slow. I really don't like that ending. Like,
yeah, it's kind of silly. I feel like I would have rather him actually just knock the fuck out of Puck.
Yeah, I wanted him to just knock him out.
That's same here.
Oh, I would have wanted him to do it and then to be like,
whoa,
did I do that?
Yeah,
like that. I feel like that would have been like
the first time I watched that, I really got kind of upset that he knocked.
Or like Apollo's like starting to get up, like he's on one knee, and then the bell goes or something, and then you're like,
dude, that'd have been awesome.
You're like, dude, he did it.
Yeah.
Because one of the running themes of this is, well, let's talk about if you're gonna end up watching more of the other ones. One of the running themes of his friendship and like rivalry with Apollo is that they're pretty evenly matched, right? So you think Apollo is super skilled and he's got like the greasy, quick, whatever, and then Rocky is like a piece of iron. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's like he can just take the punishment.
Yeah,
and those two things are, they match pretty well.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
I did like seeing Apollo get angry and like get into it.
Oh, and he comes out and he's like, I'm not
playing.
shucking and jiving. He
He
says something like that, right?
Yeah, he does.
He goes, I'm coming in. This is business. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
And you could tell he was ready to knock him out. Like
Carl Weathers is the shit.
I almost thought he would just win. I thought Rocky was gonna get knocked down at some point. But obviously he wasn't. But I was like,
I think he gets knocked out 3 times, and then he says, "I'm not getting knocked down no more." And he tells Mickey that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he does knock him out 3 times. He was ready to knock him out. Like Paulo you could tell he was more dedicated this movie than the first one. First one, I think to him it was a joke. So
yeah.
I think he took it as a joke.
How excited are you to watch the next one?
Well, I've been hearing that it's not that the next ones aren't as good, but
yes, they get they're not bad necessarily. The concepts get dumber.
I just, like I said again, the skill level of a boxer.
I'm excited to see that. I want to see him be pro.
I will agree that is the best thing about him.
Yeah, I think that's what the third one's for.
I want to see him old. I want to see how.
Dude, I want to watch when he's old.
I want to see him with Creed.
Oh, dude, I think you.
Creed.
So are you? Did watching 1 and 2 make you want to watch 3?
I think I want.
Or are we just gonna do it because we gotta do it now?
No, I think I wanted to watch. Once I heard that Creed was a follow up to Rocky, I was like, oh, maybe I need to watch these.
Yeah,
there's so many of them.
Yeah, there's something like 9 of them now.
Yeah, we're talking about last time.
I don't remember. I'd have to count out.
Right.
I think it's something like 9.
Because you said the 6th one
is when he's old.
Rocky Balboa, right? That's
and then there's 3 Creed movies.
Yes, and then there's 3 Creed. Yeah, that's 9.
That's 9. Yeah.
Yep.
I do want to see him.
Cool. I actually think unless you guys want to bring up another point, we should close out soon. So.
Did you want to talk about, or did you want me to talk about what I think will happen?
Yeah, to talk about whatever you want. But I think our final points it's time for final points. So before we close out the video, there's anything else we want to say? I think now's the time. Where do you think the series is going? There's the Russian stuff.
I do know there's the Russian.
There's one where he's an old man.
And there's one where he's an old man. But I think the next one.
Yeah.
I think that's when Apollo and him become friends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who he's gonna fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think something's gonna happen with Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
Something not so good. I'm kind of scared of that. But I think in the end,
Well, now
Rocky's gonna-
they have a baby.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
that's
no, the
the
baby's
lot.
born.
That's
Yep.
I don't. There's.
What do you think's going to happen to Polly?
I think everything's gonna end up okay, but it's gonna be hard on Rocky. I think Rocky's gonna learn a lot. I think he's gonna get smarter. I think Polly. I think he's gonna get turned more into a gangster. He's gonna become. It's gonna get bad. Polly's not gonna be. Ooh, now I don't want to think about it so much. I don't think it's gonna.
That's an interesting way to think about it. Yeah, that's a very interesting way to think about it. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're gonna watch these. I think we should go through all the way to the end. I think we should. If you're down, we should go all the way to the end.
I'm done.
Well, we're for sure gonna do Rocky 3. We might bring some extra stuff. We're waiting for Jeremy to get back. We have a different episode when Jeremy comes back.
Yes.
What we're gonna do. Thank you, Charles, for that.
Hey, Charles.
But I think unless he's chilling. Unless you guys want to bring anything else up, I think this is a good ending of the video.
Yeah.
Guys. I think we're gonna try to make some more skits.
For our 57 subscribers, thank you guys.
Yay!
You guys are the best.
Leave comments, like us. I mean,
Yeah, talk shit. Tell us
please.
stuff we should do.
Funny.
Tell us something we should do. Bring us some suggestions.
Yes.
If you read or watched anything really cool and you think we would appreciate it, then bring us in. Chris is gonna be hanging out with us. He's gonna be jumping in on multiple videos. Hopefully, I really want you to come back and do some more fun stuff with us. But on that note, I think we're gonna get out of here, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, and thanks to our subscribers.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are the best. We will see you next time, y'all.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.